Glenn, starting with you, the Senate stimulus plan would include another $1,200 stimulus check for most Americans and a possible reduction of the federal unemployment benefits. Now, the current benefits are $600 a week, but some say that is too much and is encouraging some not to look for employment and just stay at home. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm going to start with this. Republican policies suppress wages here in Austin and Texas and across the country. So if they're worried about some unemployment benefits at the time of a natural disaster, had they allowed wages to rise as they should have the last decade or more, then they wouldn't have this kind of mythical problem about paying people more than they make at home. If they earn living wages already, this unemployment is considered at $600 a month would come nowhere near it. So there's that. I don't know why they accuse people that their view of human nature is so dark that like little people are going to steal the money that otherwise shouldn't be spent on them. If they had the same attitude towards big corporations, we'd have a lot healthier economy already.
Ma'am Makoviak, what do you make of this Senate plan?
Well, I think they're trying to find a middle path. I mean, I think there is deep concern that people are disincentivized for going back to work. You hear this when you talk to people who are in small businesses, certainly restaurant and bar owners, back when bars were allowed to be open in Texas. They were having trouble convincing employees to come back because they're making more money not working. That's why the NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Businesses, has talked a lot about this. So look, the Senate Republicans are trying to put forward something that can have bipartisan appeal. They can get 60 votes in the Senate, that can pass the House, and they can get the president's signature. And so you're going to have to find a compromise. You need liability protection that's narrow, that's temporary for businesses so they can reopen, but you also need to extend these unemployment benefits. You're going to see the PPP program extended, not for everyone, but for businesses that have taken a 50% revenue loss for a short period of time. So I think this is about doing what's absolutely necessary, but not driving an even bigger hole in the national debt, which is already out of control at, I think, $23 or $24 trillion.
Glenn, how much is enough? How much should the Congress and the government be giving to people in this next package?
Well, I mean, that's going to be different state by state. But let me correct something. These restaurant and bar workers, they didn't refuse to go back to work because they were making more money not going to work. They were scared of death. They didn't want to catch the disease. They didn't want bars and restaurants to have that leverage over them that you come here and face death or else. So it is really, really disingenuous to say that they're not wanting to go back to work is because their unemployment checks were such a big boon to them. Most can't survive. That's why we have bans on evictions at the moment. And let's be real about what people's actual needs are and quit pretending that they're like pocketing the money that should be spent, on Trump's golf courses.
So, well, Glenn, so how much money should the feds be giving to the people now?
Well, I think the original $600 supplement to the state unemployment fund extended into the future, it seemed to be working. I don't know that we up that, but cutting it right now, keeping people about right at or below the poverty line, just seems cruel and unnecessary.
Ma'am Makoviak, I mean, do you agree? Is it cruel and unnecessary? What do you think?
Well, you have about 70% of workers right now who are receiving unemployment benefits who are making more money not working than they were by working. The risk to the average person by going back to work, particularly as your business is listening to public health guidelines, is using disinfectant and doing all the things that people are doing, is very low for the average person. So we have to get people back to work. I guess Democrats want to spend unlimited money for unlimited time, paying people not to work. That's not how we get the economy back. It's not how we get growth. People need to be working. There are psychological downsides, emotional downsides to keeping people at home, locked up with nothing to do, not able to work. That's not a good, even medium-term solution, let alone a long-term solution. So, again, this is emergency legislation, needs to be targeted, needs to be temporary. It is going to be extended, and I think you'll see it pass in the next 7, 10, 14 days at most.